So today we're having a little presentation about a project which is called Interlegis in Brazil. We're actually trying to give you an overview of the project itself, what we do, and the part of automation where we use some tools to manage some large number of sites and automate its installation and maintenance. Well, Interlegis is a program which is made by the Brazilian legislative power in conjunction with IDB. They have a program for development of the legislative power of Brazil. The thing is, our objective is to have a better legislative. And the thing is, we do it by some means, but the main reason of our existence, at least from our point of view, is IT. And we have to bring more efficient services, citizen participation through the IT. So it's a program which is funded partially by half by the Brazilian government and half by the IDB. So we have mainly two ways of strategy. We have an integration of the legislative as a whole, which Brazil is a very large country. We have over 5,000 little chambers of legislative houses, and they are almost totally disconnected. They were before Interlegis. Now we have a very large network. We connect the main state chambers through video and a network, and we have a program which is mainly based on 3 stages. The first one of them is e-parliament, where we lead technology, computers, network, services, systems, and there's where Plone came by to us. It began more or less in 1999. We began to work, and then Plone didn't even exist there. But it started out with Zope, and by consultancy, at least based on a study of a big university in Brazil, which is called Unicamp, we decided to use Zope as a main platform of development. Luciano Ramalho, which is a well-known person in the Python community, gave a consultancy there, and then we started using Python over there. The thing is, we are in the first stages, and the second one, really, which are building citizen services. That is the first step towards citizen participation in the legislative process. So now we have some systems, and the most important of them is one which is called SAPL, which is a system for assisting the legislative process, the flowing of the law, the approval, the voting, everything. And that system was made of Zope, previous to Plone. We have many achievements over these years. The main one was SAPL, but we have other ones. We have one, for example, for automating the work of the parliament member in his daily job, which is called SAAP. We had a Plone Internet for ourselves, which was based on Plone 2.1. It's still working today. We have a portal which was recently migrated to Plone 4.2, and one of the main uses of Plone that we have is called Portal Modelo, which is we pack up a distribution of Plone which the chambers can install themselves and use themselves and customize as they want, or we can host them. So we have these systems. SAPL was the first Zope system that we have, and it uses a relational database. The first portal was made on CMF. It was not Plone itself. It was migrated to Plone 1 and then to Plone 2, and now we migrated to Plone 4. This is the second version, which was already in Plone. And this is a version of Model Portal. And we have some other systems to wait and administrative tasks, like CG, which was not made with Plone, was with Django. And one of the most interesting ones is Collab, which has, from behind, a track instance but has a solar powered search which integrates many sources of information, and there we have an overview of the activity of our community. Every one of us has a profile, and there you can see all the contributions of those members, what they are doing, and many of these members are from the chambers of the legislative houses itself. They're workers there, and they work in many parts of the country, and we communicate from discussion lists and chat, and we share many Plone instances. We estimate it's about a little bit more than 400, and maybe 300 SAPLs, which are Zope, just not Plone. And we automate that. There is a simple AJ load balance architecture. And the thing is, we decided to use Puppet, which was a very good thing indeed. And now we're starting to use build out, because many of those systems are still in older versions of Plone, and we use custom scripts and mainly Puppet to automate that thing. The good thing is there is a very nice talk about Puppet, which was given in PyCon, the last PyCon, which explains it in much detail. It's very easy to think. It's based on resources, and I want to show you some files. Actually, Puppet is a configuration thing. The main point, the main advantage of it, is that it allows you to build pieces of configuration in which can be mapped as interdependent. Let me move it there. Sorry. So, the main thing is that we can configure just with some variables and abstract that away and make a certain configuration be repeatable across the sites. The Puppet thing is that you map resources. He calls it resources, which can be files, which can be a certain command that has to be executed, and it can check for outcomes. It depends on either a command has had success. For example, for the model portal, you can define some structure and abstract it and use it over and over again. So we do it for every one of those sites, and we configure, for instance, their domain name, their proxy configuration, and some other stuff. So part of it is, the only part that is not automated yet is DNS configuration, and you mainly say things as, we have files. Let me check. You say that you have prereqs, which can be system libraries or Python libraries or anything, and you form a network of dependency of one over the other. And you can say that you need a package, and that has to be present, for instance. And you can put many of them there. And you can execute arbitrary commands when you do not have anything to map, which is native from Puppet. The whole thing is very simple. You basically set a network of dependencies, and you can execute them every once in a while. We set up to half an hour. Every half an hour, we run it again. And then when you have new configuration, you just make a refresh and everything. Actually, the last thing we did was we integrated this with tag. For example, in GitHub, we have the new portal in GitHub, and we put a tag which we name release. Every once in a while, it checks out if that tag has changed places. It makes another poll and see if it has changed places, so it triggers some other events and installs and refreshes things. So it's It's quite easy to use. Actually, the guy that did that was our friend Fábio, and you can talk to him. Do we have network here? Oh, that's too bad. We were about to have him over for you to chat.
The wireless is disabled. Wireless is disabled by power.
Oh. I renewed that. Thank you. Did it catch on?
Yeah, I don't think you refreshed.
Yes, we did. Let me just do something. Yes, here I can do it again. Just a minute. It's working. So the thing I like the most about Interlegis is that there we have, for the first time I saw a place where there is a community of users that contribute back in an open source fashion. That is something very hard to find, I think, in many places. At least in the Brazil government, I never saw this. And there I managed to find people contributing back, mainly to SAPL, which is that system for the flow of the law. There are users, they are IT professionals from these chambers, and they contribute back and send patches. And now we are moving to GitHub. So we trying to make things a little easier for those guys to participate. Okay, so say hello to Fábio. I don't know if you have the audio, but I can do something like this. Fábio, are you listening?
Yes. Hi there.
So, say it again, please, for you to test.
Hi there.
So Fábio, I think you heard, we talked about how the Puppet configuration works and that how we manage the sites, and we would like to have a little feedback from you about what is simpler and what you find the most easier part, or which troubles you find and everything.
Well, are you listening good? Hello?
Yeah.
It's a bit delayed. Well, I have some considerations about what the code we made. The code was made for 85, so some things could be made easier to the code for the code to run, and the portal database, as the Maza said before, was displayed in a Puppet file. We have an array which defines every new website that is going to be installed or infrastructure. But it could be made easier by putting this on a relational database or a CSV file. At the time we made this code, it was made for Puppet 0.25, so it was not available. Today we use Puppet 2.7, and it has a lot of new features that we could use to make it easier to read to install new web portals. private classes that could be used in another Puppet version, the newer Puppet versions. And what is just easy to use with Puppet is that we can configure dozens of sites within 30 minutes. So you have no hustles there, and it just works. Also, the whole system is based on an approach which guarantees the availability. You have, if you could go back to that slide which shows our infrastructure, Maza.
Yeah. I'm confused. This one's
Are you listening? I guess. Could you go back to that slide? We have the infrastructure, just to show.
Yeah, I'm getting that. It's there?
I don't see it yet, but okay, that's okay. We have our Puppet installation configuring our web proxy, which is a Squid server, which is right behind the firewall. We have two application servers, two Zope application servers for each one of the portals, or another services like SAPL. And these two communicates to one machine that runs the Zio server or the database if needed. And what we found is that our database server, it's really not necessary to duplicate to make it highly available. The general use case, you don't need to make it available, to make it highly available. That's because it just runs and doesn't crash or something. And but the two web application servers that run Zope, sometimes they can get a little laggy or they can crash the instance, so we have it double. And Puppet just coordinates all this and make it sure that every server can be configured without much work. Another consideration I would like to make about our infrastructure is that in Plone 2, we don't have the option to reload the instances. We just make a restart. It's not ideal, but when we migrate our portals to Plone 4.2 in the future, I guess we have this feature ready. And a problem that we find sometimes, mainly when configuring SAPL, is that Puppet can synchronize the configuration between servers. So you can't just tell Puppet to configure the database server first and then configure the application server. It's not a problem in the Portal Modelo, in the model portal, but it's a problem with SAPL. So I'm looking for a way to make Puppet synchronize all the servers. I don't know if there is a way, but I'm trying to find it. If everyone has some information about that, I would be glad to receive it and
Tell him.
And the last point of the configuration is that Puppet not yet configured net. So it's the last piece of the puzzle there, and we're trying to work to all the installation of a new web portal be automated. Our target group of legislative chambers is 5,000, like Maza said. So we have to do everything we can to automate things and to make it easy to install new web portals and new SAPL and other services for our community.
So Fábio, that was our time. Thank you. I just want you to tell the guys over there that we won Plone Gov PR. We won the Plone Awards. Is it?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is the main prize. It's a Raspberry Pi and a T-shirt. And the Raspberry Pi runs already Plone, and it's because of the huge Plone Gov effort that everybody recognizes as being, very special in the Plone community this year. So you won the Plone Awards 2012. All you guys up there as well. Big applause.
Thank you. Let's go to Jean, Cynthia, Rafaela, and I think I won't let them have the Raspberry Pi and the Lego parts, but the shirt will get there safe. So, you have any questions about Puppet or something, or Interlegis, or the next PloneConf? Yeah?
I was, so just so you guys know that he's not Fabio, even though it says it on the tag.
No.
Fabio's on there. This is Maza. And
That was a good point.
I was down there, and the most impressive thing about this is he's the only sysadmin for all these sites, and there's 2 developers or something, and they run everything, and develop and do upgrades and all that stuff. So it's really an impressive effort, and remind me to introduce Fabio to Christian, because he might have a couple of my notes.
Yeah. You heard that, Fabio? He's. Oh. We want to say that we are all admired, and Liz has pointed out that just one guy runs it all, and that was a big job. Congratulations to you, and we're very happy to have you on the board. So.
And then also, if you guys are interested in your work in government, you should talk to, you didn't talk a lot about, you talked briefly about the interaction, but it's the only government installation I've seen that truly was a community open source driven thing. And I'm sure that you can grab any one of these guys from South America, and they'll tell you about how they made it work and the politics. And literally the government sponsored the conference.
Yeah.
Because they were so pro-open source, they wanted to bring people in. So maybe they can buy them a beer to have those kind of clients and pick their brain as to how they actually made it work. So pretty amazing.
Yeah, as I noted, the thing that motivates me the most about Interlegis is that through many years of effort, Jean and many guys who work there, they managed to build a community, a real community around a model which is an open source model of development. Everything that we do is open source. Everything is already in a public repository, and people can use it in GPL. And the community contributes back. The users, the end users, the IT professionals of the chambers, they contribute back, and that is a thing which is amazing and I haven't seen anywhere. So I'm very happy to be part of it, and I hope to hear from you. And if when you go to PloneConf, you'll be able to visit Interlegis and talk to us personally.